Live from Vincent Beck Stadium on the campus of Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, it's Southland Conference Baseball on ESPN as the Lamar Cardinals play host to the Demons of Northwestern State. Hi, everybody. Dan Gresham along with Harold Mann. Welcome in. This is the first of three, and Harold, what can only be called a pivotal series here in the race for the Southland Conference Championship, more importantly, for the seedings in the tournament postseason play.
Without a doubt, they're tied in the loss column. As you see, both teams with 7 losses, but overall, Northwestern State's played 3 more conference games, and they won those 3, so they're a game and a half ahead of Lamar, and the Cardinals could make some damage today, tomorrow, and Sunday if with wins, and Northwestern State can make some separation with wins.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say, because Northwestern State, as you saw, at the top of the heap right now, so Lamar has to be targeting them. Let's talk about players featured to watch tonight. We'll start with Northwestern State. Thomas Marsala III on a tear. 6'3" senior transfer from Monroe. 37 games. He has hit .325, 49 hits, 31 runs, 9 home runs. Hitter of the week on March 30th. And for Lamar, familiar name, Tab Tracy, 6'3" senior outfielder from Houston, leads the team with a .331 average. And we expect that we will see him right back his familiar spot in center field. Break for the national anthem, a trade to the Cards, and we're back with the first pitch. Between these teams, Lamar leads the all-time series 72-62. Demons took 2 games to 1 to win the series last season in Natchitoches. This series dates back to 1953. I don't think they were even using the same names back then, but yeah, Lamar took that one 3-2 here in Beaumont.
You're right, Dan. Back then, Lamar Tech.
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what Northwestern State was called back
I'm not
then
either. Might have been Northwestern State Teachers College for all I know. Yeah. But, it's been Northwestern State for quite some time. There's a look at the starting pitcher, Chris Olivier, the senior, 6'1". What can you say? 4-2, 2.06 ERA, 69 strikeouts.
In 52 in the 3rd innings.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. He finds the strike zone.
He does. Southland Conference Pitcher of the Week 3 times. Named to Baseball America's Week 1 College Team of the Week. What else? Analytics. I know D1, I think, Pitcher of the Week. He's also been named one of the top performers in the top 100 list. We can go on with that, but more importantly, he has been the ace of this Lamar pitching staff, and he will get the go tonight. Let's check out the batting order for the Demons from Natchitoches. It'll be Leonard, and then Siervo, Marsala in the top 3, Menard, Simonelli, Macaluse, McNeil, White, and Ardoin, the bottom 3, and this one is underway. Brooks Leonard will lead things. What a great baseball name, Brooks Leonard.
Yeah, that's a real cool baseball name. 368 average.
Second pitch, lifts it out to right. It's going to fall in front of Balin Valentine. Let's set the defense when we get a sec here for Lamar. As you saw, Valentine out in right field. A little bit of a change there with Valentine, Tracy, Sparks. Braden Evans out of the lineup in left field. Across the infield, going right to left, Durbin, Durant, Taylor, Rodriguez. Coomer behind the plate, and again, Olivier on the mound. Joe Siervo will step in, the center fielder. Siervo, a senior out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Takes a look at a called strike, and that's the key for Chris Olivier. As Cardinal fans will watch him all year long. He works in front of hitters. That obviously says with the 60-plus strikeouts and less than 53 innings pitched.
Got to get ahead, and he does here. Siervo, first season at Northwestern. Played a season at Western Kentucky and had a JUCO year.
12-game hitting streak from February 24th through March 15th.
It's the team, again, coming into this one, it can pretty much hit. It came in with a .274 team batting average. They've scored 230 runs. 35 home runs. So again, they got guys that can launch. It'll be tough tonight, though. Wind blowing into the face of the batters. 13 to 28 miles an hour. Pretty stiff.
Looking at the leadoff single by Leonard, he likes to take off and go 19 out of 23. So the Cardinals need a close eye, keep a close eye on him. He is an aggressive base runner.
Count goes to 2-2. Nobody out, one on here in the top of the first. Lamar in there all white with the script letters. Gets him. Swing and a miss for the first K of the game for Olivier.
70th strikeout of the season.
It's going to bring up Thomas Marsala III. Senior out of Monroe, Louisiana. He, too, spent a year at Western Kentucky. A couple of Hilltoppers. Made the move down a little bit further south and landed in Natchitoches. Marsala, fourth year of playing college ball. Squares up, pulls it back. Gets the strike call.
Boisterous dugouts early on here. You got like that. Both teams really into this crucial game one of a three-game series.
I like the way Northwestern State's leaning into that NSU across the front of their uniforms tonight, wearing their grays with the orange letters and numbers.
Big day for Cervo. April 4th had the walk-off game hit win against UTRGV. Ninth inning, actually on a ninth inning ground out, drove in the game winning. So that must have been down in Edinburgh. It wasn't a walk-off, it was a ground out in the top of the ninth inning down in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Where he drove in the go-ahead run and it turned out to be the winning run.
By the way, 79 degrees, overcast skies. We've got a front expected through tomorrow, causing some problems with the series schedule. Originally, it was 7 tonight, 5 tomorrow, and then 1 on Sunday. But we'll go ahead and let you know. Time change for tomorrow because they want to get in front of the system coming through. They're going to start at 1 o'clock. So,
not much of a turnaround between Friday and Saturday.
No, it won't be. But, you know, just if we want to set the DVR or whatever, 1 o'clock will be the start time. 1:05 first pitch. Marsala behind 0-2. Takes a look at one high outside.
Cardinals, as usual, when 2 strikes on a left-handed hitter, go to the shift. And kind of an unusual, not just an unseen type shift where the third baseman, Hector Rodriguez, actually goes and plays on the right side. Shortstop A.J. Taylor stays put.
And the left side is wide open down the third baseline, but going to turn opposite too.
Tag him.
And he does. Gets him on the slide, and that will end the inning. So it's 3 up, 3 down to start for Chris Olivier. Coming up for Lamar, top of the order, we'll see Tracy Durbin Sparks to lead things off. Kevin Robinson, a junior out of Shreveport, Louisiana. 3rd season with NSU. Tossed 5 scoreless innings across 3 appearances back in March. What does Lumbers look like?
Yeah, he comes in with some really good numbers on the year. More of late, he does have a 0-2 record, but he has not really got much run support. He has an ERA of 2.52, 35 2/3 innings pitched, 29 strikeouts. Has given up 5 hits. Did not allow an earned run over his first 5 appearances.
Pretty impressive.
And that's, you know, where the defense maybe broke down a little bit behind him and not getting much run support. Over 14 2/3 innings, did not give up an earned run.
Here's the batting order for Lamar. Top 3, Tracy Durbin Sparks. In the middle, it'll be Rodriguez, Coomer, Duran. And the bottom 3, Benton, Taylor, Valentine. Tap Tracy to lead things off, our featured player of the game.
Robinson, by the way, he mixes it up well. About 89. He'll top off at 89 on a two-seam fastball. Slider up to 79, and his cutter hits 82.
Tracy, a senior out of Houston. Well traveled before he made it here to Lamar. Stops at U of H, Texas A&M. Second season wearing the red and white.
Hit his first tournament of the year last weekend.
Did. That Nichols series, 5 for 13, 4 runs, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Takes a look at second pitch outside. Count goes to 2-1. Pitching Robinson, and the folks I talked to were saying that he's good at finding zones. You know, if it moves around a little bit, doesn't seem to bother him. Oh, the ball gets past the center fielder, and Tap Tracy, as he likes to do, takes advantage and stretches it to 2. He's the base stealing leader for this team.
We'll look at the board. This could go as a single error. We'll wait and see if it's going to be a straight out double, though.
Right up the middle, a comebacker goes between second and short, and then off the ankle of Ciervo.
Yeah, that's going to go as a base hit and an error to get him to second base. And, you know, that really sets up the Cardinals. Leadoff hitter on second base, nobody out.
And in steps Bo Durbin. Pass ball. That's another free base for Tracy.
You know, you always break it down, pass ball, wild pitch. You know, that's got to be a pass ball for the Demons. Noah McNeil's got to get his glove in the ball in that glove.
Let's take a look at this one. McNeil, I mean, he pitches it inside. I thought it was going to hit Durbin's foot, and I think he moved it out of the way, and McNeil couldn't get to it. So either way, Tap Tracy standing on third, 90 feet away, high chopper, handled by Marsala, and he tags out Durbin, and that will hold the runner at third because it happened in such close proximity. And that'll bring up Lane Sparks.
And defensively, that's the best thing that could happen to Northwestern State.
Oh, yeah.
A really good job there by Marsala. Look, he comes in, just stands there in the baseline because Durbin has nowhere to go but to run to him, and he makes sure the runner doesn't come home.
Yeah, not only that, he didn't wait for the ball to take a chance to go foul. He knew he had to play. The runner's coming to him. Just go ahead and make the tag, get the out. One away, and Lane Sparks, the left fielder, steps in. Sparks, junior transfer from Brenham, Texas, puts this one on the ground. Not going to get through, but Lamar will push one across. Nice play by White at second. They'll get Sparks at first.
And a really good job there by Robinson getting over to cover from the mound.
But the run on the error and then the pass ball will give Lamar the lead here in the bottom of the first and bring up Hector Rodriguez in the cleanup spot.
RBI number 16 on the year for Lane Sparks. Guy steps in now. Hector, third baseman, switch hitter.
Go from, I think we could say easily he's probably made a number more. We'll look at the numbers, but left side versus right side, obviously. Anytime you got a righty, he's going to go left.
And I think he has obviously seen more left hand, been in that left-hander's batter's box more, but he's been doing a really good job on that side of the plate.
Rodriguez, a senior out of Houston.
Another pitch popping out of the glove of catcher McNeil.
Rodriguez, a couple of years on the road, Galveston College for a couple of years, UTSA for a year. This is such a common trait for players now at the D1 level. Booted by Ardoin, and Rodriguez will be safe on first and keep the inning going.
He's second error of the inning. It just looked like a routine ground ball heading towards shortstop, and Ardoin just did not field the baseball.
Gets down on it, takes a quick hop there right at the glove, comes up off the heel.
Did a good thing there by, just sticking that ball in his back pocket, not trying to throw it because he was not going to throw out Rodriguez.
That brings up Theo Coomer, the catcher. You see, hometown Dallas, Texas, 5'11". Last season, he was playing for Texas State.
Rodriguez running at first base after reaching on that 2-out error. Not attempted a steal this year.
Yeah, he came into the season with an injury, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it. That one fouled off the handle.
Scott Hatton coaching over at third base for the Cardinals. First-year coach Jack Hardgrove is at first base.
And, of course, head coach Will Davis, 10th year here at Lamar. On the ground, Ardoin. Nice throw. That was bobbled.
Dropped.
Marsala couldn't get it into the pocket. He says, hey, I had it, stepped on it, then I let go of it.
We might want to take another look at this. I don't think Northwestern State is right now, but
I don't see anybody coming out asking for a review.
Did Marcelo get the ball back in the glove before Theo got there?
See, it's out. He says, I got it. He did get it back.
He did.
I think he had it.
Now they're going to come out.
Now that they've had time to think about it, I think they'll probably want to go with that review.
If not, it'll be the third error of the inning on Northwestern State. But I'm like you, Dan, looking at it. They may not review it.
That's Chris Bertrand walking back to the dugout. 3rd year as head coach, 10 years on staff at Northwestern. There's the discussion going on amongst the umpires. They're going back to their positions.
Yeah, they're going to status quo. Home plate umpire tonight, John Howell. First base, Jeremy Hayes. Zachary Edgens at third base.
That's a little bit surprising that you wouldn't want to look at that one, but they're not. I guess their theory is 2 away. Not going to hurt us to have another runner on first, and we'll save the review.
This going in the book is an infield single.
Coomer on. That'll advance Rodriguez to second and bring up Kevin Duran, second baseman, king of the bat flips. Told you.
Wonder if he practices that.
I asked him the other day. I saw him, and he had some. He has I think a tendon issue in his wrist. I said, "Does it hurt when you field?" He goes, "No, I can still flip a bat."
That's good.
I said, "Well, that's the important, Kevin, fun guy to talk to. We sat and chatted for a while. Said, hey, my parents said to tell you they like listening to you guys.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. At least they don't go.
It's better than the other thing they could say.
Yes, exactly. Hey, nice hit. Going to drop in front of Severio, and that one is going to score the run. They cut it off. Yeah. So Hector Rodriguez comes all the way around from second on the base hit by Duran right up the middle. Good shot.
They count the same, but the Rodriguez run, and if any other runs are scored the rest of the inning, all unearned. Looks like the Tap Tracy run will be earned.
So now Theo Coomer to second, Duran at first, and Braden Bitton in the DH spot. Senior transfer from Lubbock, one of a number of former Demons. How about that? Pull single to left.
RBI gets
Here comes the race, and they're not going to make the throw. So Coomer sprints home and makes it 3-0 in the bottom of the first.
After the shortstop error, back-to-back singles.
And out comes Chris Bertrand, although that might actually be the pitching coach, Haddad.
Cardinals taking advantage of some Demon miscues. Lead at 3-0, 4 hits in the inning for Lamar. jumped out to a 3-0 lead. And you've got Chris Olivier on the mound for Lamar.
Dan Halad comes out, makes a visit, does not make the change.
An empty bullpen, so he's just trying to settle down Robinson. Tell him, don't worry about what's happened behind you. Go to work. 2 outs in the inning. Just don't worry about the 2 base runners right now. Just attack the hitter.
We got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. A.J. Taylor, the shortstop. Another one of those senior transfers, steps in. Out of Downers Grove, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. A.J. played last year, University of Illinois, Chicago. 42 starts, takes a look at one. Oh, called a strike down low. Goes to 1-1.
From a Flame to a Cardinal.
Two on, 2 out. This one on the ground. Not going to get through this time. Ardoin is there. Steps on second. Ends the inning, but not before Lamar comes up with 4 hits, 3 runs to take the lead after 1 complete. Warming up for his 2nd inning of work here for Lamar. Came out in that first inning, 3 up, 3 down, picked up his first strikeout. He'll face the middle of the lineup, Menard, Simonelli, Macaluce. NSU coming into this one 23-14, 14-7 in conference play. Lamar 19-18, 11-7 in conference play. And as Harold pointed out in the pregame, really in the Southland Conference, because of the uneven number of teams playing on a weekly basis during conference play, you really have to look at losses, not wins.
Yeah, you look at the loss column and go from there.
Because everybody has played different numbers of games into the season because you have one weekend of non-conference play, and you don't get through the entire season lineup or through the entire conference lineup until the end of the season. Ethan Menard will lead things off for the Demons as they look to make up 3 here early.
Out of Monroe, St. Frederick's High School, 325. He has some power, 9 home runs and 36 RBI.
Fouls that one away. Opelousas, Louisiana. Went to UT Tyler, spent a couple of years there. I love these, all these guys play summer ball when you go start looking to see, where were they at in the summer leagues. You'll love his summer league team. You ready?
It is.
Got you on the edge of your chair now?
I am.
The Saskatoon Berries of the Western Canada League.
I would have never guessed that.
Saskatoon Berries. That was a new one on me. I can only imagine what their cap logo must look like, Is it a bunch of grapes? Is it blackberries? Saskatoon Berries. Maybe it's like a play on the word bear.
Could be.
Like the animal. Gets into the ground ball, handled no problem. 1 away. That'll bring up Simonelli. Here's the shot right up the middle. And of course, Duran playing way behind first base, so he doesn't have to move far to make the play.
By the way, when I gave those numbers, that was actually for Marcella, not Menard, who just grounded out.
Well, I get where that can happen.
that and me.
Simonelli steps up.
That and me forgetting my regular score sheets. And
I thought you were going to tell me your glasses. But I look and I see they're on.
They are on.
Junior out of Quitman, not Quitman, Texas, but Quitman, Louisiana. Simonelli, first season with Northwestern State, 4th year of ball, 3 years of JUCO ball. This is his 25th start of the season. Big rip at that one. Nothing but air. Second strikeout of the night.
What a job. Way to come back there. 78 miles per hour. That pitch had a lot of good movement on it. Look at the ball just drop.
Oh, yeah. Off the edge of the table. That'll bring up Michael McAloose, the third baseman. See, Fort Myers, Florida, his hometown. On the season, McAloose, 266. Got 18 runs, 14 RBIs, 25 hits, 3 home runs. Puts that one on the ground foul down the third baseline. Mentioned the wind at the start of the game, much stronger than it is now, but we had winds south 13 to 28 coming in.
But over the softball field earlier, they were blown out, obviously.
Oh, I did softball. We saw a home run in the first game, and I think there were 2 home runs in the second game. By the way, Lamar winning both of those over UIW, so still hopes there, not real bright for that number 2 seed. Probably have to sweep the rest of the season. Not that that's impossible. Had a 14-game win streak. McAloose, second strikeout victim of the inning. And Olivier heads for the dugout. 3 up, 3 down. 2 innings in a row. Are 32 newcomers, 20 transfers, and guess what? 3 of them are actually from Northwestern. Yeah. And you see Balin Valentine, 56 games. Braden Benton, 51 games played. And then not quite so many for Cade. He had 10, but all of them spending time there in Natchitoches.
You know, and all of them has contributed in one way or another to Lamar this year.
Oh, yeah.
And Cade Prejean in limited play came in against SFA and hit some big hits.
And has also been used as a pinch runner and a pinch hitter throughout the course of the season. But Balin Valentine has really had a steady role for Lamar, especially out in right field.
Well, the other Northwestern State transfer in the lineup, Benton had a single back in the first inning against his former teammate.
Right, came in as DH to start the season, eventually worked over to first base, and tonight back at DH. Valentine checks one inside. That's got to be pretty weird. I mean, I know Northwestern also had a number of changes, you know, over the course of the year, but to face your teammates from the previous 2 years, you would think, hey, at least I got a pretty good idea what this guy throws.
Yeah, you've seen him in inter-squad scrimmages.
That's what I'm saying. Takes a look at a good fastball at 88.
Balin taking there. He's waiting to throw that first strike. He was ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strike. Now it's 2-1, obviously.
Mentioned overcast skies, lights already on. Of course, we're got a late start tonight. This one's starting at 7:05. Which is a little bit unusual. Most of the time you'll see Saturday or Friday games will start at 6:05. Trying to accommodate. Ouch. Don't they hit the bat? I guess so. He's not smart enough.
That's a pitch up and out of the strike zone that he's just trying to get away from and hit the bat.
Count runs to 2-2. But anyway, trying to accommodate those softball games, a doubleheader. So they moved the start time of this one back an hour. It's a good movement ball. Getting it on the outside. Misses the plate.
Good job there by Balin laying off that pitch. Runs the count full.
Gave it to him. Fouled it away. Oh, no, he didn't either. It's going to stay fair. Lifts it out to left. And Simonelli is there for out number 1.
Back to the top of the batting order where Tab Tracy started things off for the Cardinals with a base hit up the middle. Went to second on a misplayed in center field following that hit. Passed ball and then scored on a ground out.
Tracy leads the team with multi-hit games. Chance to get that right here with one swing of the bat. That's outside. It has been a unbelievably pleasant baseball season this year.
Yes.
You know, so many times years in the past, we can all count that, you know, we were in the 90s and sweating by this time, you know, into April. This year it's been very pleasant. I mentioned we're in the 70s tonight.
Really, and you know, weather-wise, really no major issues. Remember the season opener, we were fogged out to the next day against Oakland University.
That is wood that I'm knocking on, right? Considering that front coming in tomorrow.
That's why we're starting early.
80% chance of rain. This is, if you've never been, this again, Vincent Beck Stadium, maybe one of the best draining fields in the country. One of those things that former head coach Jim Gilligan insisted on when they put this turf down. We are going to have a field that drains. We're not going to have rain delays where we're having to wait for pooled water. Oh, I don't know. Got him, but it was a good try by Tracy to stretch it out. He's like, he'll always say, I'm pretty sure I was safe.
Yeah, Jack over at first base coach kind of looked back towards the dugout. And I think they got the ball got there before he got the foot down in the bag. We'll get another look at it.
I didn't see a lot of conviction. You know, in the coach, you see him right there. His body language kind of says, I don't think I would use it. So they're not. And Tracy will be out number 2 on the ground out, bring up Bo Durbin, first baseman, grounded out back in the first. They went through 8 batters in the first inning, so everybody has had a chance now to see the starter for Northwestern. Again, the book on Robinson, pretty consistent. When he's on, he's going to stay in the upper 80s. Occasionally push it up to 92 or so. Bouncer up the middle, big hop over the head.
He's going to beat it out.
That will be beat out because White had to come all the way across behind the mound to pick up the ball and make the throw. And by the time he made the throw, he was almost at the beyond the shortstop. Watch this.
Yeah, the second baseman, he has to stop and really not plan. He has to do a cross-body throw. And with Bo Durbin running up that line towards first, we're not going to get to him.
So with 2 out, Durbin's on with a single. Brings up Lane Sparks. First season with Lamar. Spent a couple of years Wharton Junior College.
Drove into Gaines' first run on a ground out.
He's had quite a season. I mean, he also made a pitching debut.
He did.
Against Oregon State,
so
the number 9 team in the country.
You want a chance to pitch Division I college baseball? Go against the top 10 team. And he did a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, got a shutout inning. So the story goes, Will Davis let it be known in a team meeting that maybe we're looking for people who can pitch.
Yeah.
Other than just those who are on the roster as pitcher. Anybody got any experience? Apparently 3 position players said yes.
In Lane's situation, he pitched in the TCL Summer League this past year.
And nobody knew.
Yeah.
None of the coaches on the Lamar staff had any idea that he had pitched some during the Summer League. He said, yeah, I can. I think Tab Tracy was the other one who said, yeah, I've pitched. We haven't seen Tracy yet. Count on Lane Sparks goes to 2-2.
Colby Christian came in that Oregon State game.
Yep, he was the other. I asked Will Davis after the game, was it out of the question that we would see? He said, absolutely not.
Yep.
You know, headed towards tournament time.
Got to get the pitching because you need to win a conference baseball tournament. You need pitching depth without a doubt.
There's just too many in a row.
Yes.
There goes the runner. Doesn't matter though with the shot to first base, handled by Marsala. He steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Lamar can't push any more across, but they do pick up another hit. We'll head for the fourth inning. It's 3-0 LU. Of the day is when you get the first pitch from China Elementary School. Oh, no, he's got his HJ shirt on, which is, of course, Hardin Jefferson representing.
Yeah, well, China's in the HA school district.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So.
We saw Will Davis handing out a high five. There's a guy that won't have any trouble getting it across the plate. Chris Olivier working into his third inning now. So far, he's only given up one hit, picked up 3 strikeouts. Olivier's last time out, that Nichols series last weekend, went 5 innings. Wound up giving up 3 runs in that one. Oh, laced out to center, right into the glove of Tab Tracy for 1 away.
I mean, you look at his pitch count, we're in the 3rd inning, and he's only throwing 25 pitches.
Yeah, well, I mean, we haven't gone all the way through the lineup
right.
yet. We're just at number 7, now 8
he's faced
in the lineup.
He's faced the minimum. He did get up that base hit, and then there was that, of course,
double play.
Double play.
Yep. Zach White will step in, the second baseman.
That pitch down below the knees.
White hitting .227 on the season.
Texas kid out of Baytown.
Yeah. Redshirt freshman. Second season with the Demons. 29th start of the year. Had a really good game against A&M Corpus Christi. 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. One of the highlights of his season.
Baytown Lee High School.
I don't even know how many high schools there are in Baytown anymore.
Baytown
Lee, Sterling,
and then Goose Creek Memorial. Yeah. They've got a third UI. Yep.
Yep.
They've got those 3 in the UIL bracket.
Right. Strike call on White. Makes the count 2-2. Always love seeing people in the stands keeping book.
Yes.
It's like, if I make a mistake on mine, can I go down and ask? Called strike. So
on an appeal.
K number 4 for Olivier. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 1 here in the third. Here's a look at the swing. You be the judge. Oh yeah, way out in front.
He was out in front of that one.
Did you see Will Davis in the background immediately? Arms up.
Yeah, but he's pointing towards third base for the appeal.
Brings up Sam Ardoin in the 9 spot. Ardoin, a junior out of Moss Bluff, Louisiana.
Yeah, Lake Charles area kid going up to Natchitoches.
Boy,
went to Sam Houston High.
I was going to say, busy. Went to Texas actually as a true freshman. Played in 4 games, then moved on to Ragin' Cajuns, UL Lafayette. 27 starts there last year, and then he played some summer ball. San Luis Obispo Blues in the California League last summer.
Had a good stretch March 24th through April 4th. 313, 10 out of 32, and a 7-game hitting streak during that stretch.
Ardoin puts it on the ground. Taylor charges, makes the throw, and it's another 3 up, 3 down inning. So 3 for 3 for Olivier. as he heads for the dugout with a 3-run lead. Look from the outfield back into the press box. Yeah, that's us up there.
I'm on my light side's off.
Thank you, Harold, for
my...
putting your hand in front of my face.
Well, I wanted to see my hand.
Not that anybody could see us anyway, but hey, going to be a good weekend, we hope, for some D1 baseball here along the Upper Texas coast. But we're kind of keeping an eye on what's happening in the weather for tomorrow, and chance we could see some pretty good rain showers. Haven't listened or heard too many meteorologists' forecasts, but I've read a couple that indicated we may see as much as an 80% coverage of showers. We'll continue to watch for that. But tonight couldn't be much better. Very comfortable. We had a few light showers across the area. Nothing to interfere with gameplay as we head into the bottom of the third. And for Lamar, middle of the order, Rodriguez, Coomer, Duran. There's Hector. Got on with a single in the first and wound up scoring.
Had 2-out error, kept that inning going with Hector.
Mentioned Northwestern State comes in tied for the lead in conference play with Southeastern. They're a game and a half ahead of SFA and Lamar. Oh, big rip at that one by Rodriguez. Sends him down with a strikeout to start the inning. That'll bring up Theo Coomer. Good movement. Started it over the plate, moves out, kind of tails away from Rodriguez.
Robinson grabbing his first strikeout of the game. Coomer had a 2-out base hit and scored.
Lifts that one out to right. Leonard barely has to move to make the catch, and there's 2 down. Robinson now kind of pitching to contact, just trying to get people to hit so his defense can play behind him, and it's worked so far this inning. Again, it's really his only trouble was that first inning, and a couple of that. Really, the bigger problems came from the position players behind him.
Yeah, he didn't get much help with a couple of errors in that first inning.
Good pitch right there, 82 miles an hour. Leaves Kevin looking. Duran 1 for 1, had that single in his first time up, picked up an RBI as well. Duran, another one of those former Southland Conference players, but he was at SFA last season. Fouls that one off. I meant to ask him and I did not, but next time I see him, I am. Is it a conscious thing? Or is it just, is it like the guy who takes the ball and spins a pitcher, spins it on his hip before he puts it in the glove?
Could be. It could be like seatbelt. You put your seatbelt, you get in your car, you don't really realize it. He may not realize he's doing it. It's just a habit.
And K number 2 of the inning for Robinson. So it's a 1-2-3 for him. We played 3 complete, or I should say we played 3.5. Lamar coming up, heading back out. Let's see what we can do. Sunset here in Beaumont, Texas. Northwestern Lamar going at it. Game 1 of 3. That kind of has a tinge of the Northwestern purple there.
Yeah, that's a good-looking sky.
No doubt. I was telling Harold we need contrast. That direction, it's very lovely looking kind of purple.
Now go up beyond the center field wall.
You go the other direction, it doesn't look very nice at all. It looks like some low-hanging rain clouds off in the distance. Maybe it won't be an issue tonight. Chris Olivier back to the mound for his fourth inning of work. To this point, 35 pitches over 3 innings. Takes us back to the top of the order, and Brooks Leonard. I said earlier, great baseball name. Brooks just sounds like baseball to me because of all the great Brooks that we have seen. Of course, Brooks Robinson comes to mind.
Yeah. Olivier has given up one hit, and that was in the leadoff hitter, who we're looking at right now, in the top of the first inning. He was eliminated as part of a double play.
I was going to say, kind of canceled out.
Yeah. Since that, nobody's reached base.
Olivier, 2-1 pitch. That one's going to fly into the bullpen down the first base line. So 2-2. Harold, Olivier does a good job of, like you said, setting things up.
He does.
You know, so he gets in that position where he can work the corners. Comes with a curveball there.
And it goes hand in hand with what we're saying on that, because when you get ahead of a hitter, you can really pick on the corners.
Right.
You don't, if you've got 3 balls, you're going to have to put something up over the plate.
Right. And you can't try to nip the edge.
No.
You know, you got to have something that's pretty solid that the umpire can see from behind. Oh, drops that one off. Coomer drops it. Doesn't matter. We'll get the strikeout.
Just keep adding them on.
Well, we saw him get, 14 in his first outing of the season against Oakland. I think that's the season high.
Mm-hmm.
Ranks in the top 25 nationally in strikeouts. And matter of fact, he's tied for 25th. Joe Ciervo back up, struck out in the first. Ouch. Bounces it off the ground up against his leg. Doesn't really show any signs of injury. Servio, we mentioned earlier, one season at Western Kentucky, hit a walk-off single in the Conference USA tournament. That's a way to remember. It was actually the Conference Tournament Championship game, and it sent the Hilltoppers to the NCAA Regionals.
That's one you always remember.
Also makes you wonder what was so attractive that you would, or what wasn't working, I guess, that would make you want to leave. Maybe not enough playing time, but he's certainly getting here. His 36th start of the season. That one just outside.
Yeah, some fans were hoping for it. Theo Coomer trying to frame it, but that pitch stayed off the plate.
2-2, nobody on, one away here in the top of the fourth. Another curveball. They're going to appeal that one. Not going to get the call from Jeremy Hayes, the first base umpire. Can't blame the early start for not making it out to this one. So that's 2 in a row for Olivier in this inning.
Those of us that keep a score sheet getting a lot of practice writing the letter K.
That is his 6th of the evening.
Would be his 75th of the year.
Just, yeah, again, he has set him up, made him chase. He went looking for it, couldn't catch up to it. Thomas Marsala, the third, in the 3 spot, hit into the double play to end the first inning.
Two outs here in the fourth inning, under 50 pitches.
Ooh, that one came in tight. Marsala gets out of the way, and the count goes to 2-0. Mentioned Marsala has been solid for the last month or so. In the Nichols series, picked up 3 hits, hitter of the week on March 30th. After hitting .444 for the week.
Hits 3 balls on Marsala. First time he's been behind a hitter.
I'm just wondering if he's just, trying to be a little bit careful with Marsala, knowing the book is in and he's not calling the pitches.
How about that, swinging on 3-0?
That was kind of unusual, but I don't know if it wasn't self-defense to some degree. It was coming in pretty tight. 3-1. That's something to hit. A little bit of confusion. Didn't last long. Durbin tosses it over to Olivier for the out. And again, a 1-2-3 inning for the 4th time in the game for Lamar. They take a 3-0 lead into the dugout. You're watching Southland Conference Baseball on ESPN. Been a long season. These are the stats as we get down now where we're starting to see the light at the end of the regular season tunnel. See Northwestern, their stats ERA 4.14. Lamar a little bit higher, 4.79. But they're pretty much neck and neck when you look at fielding.
Yeah, fielding possession 9.76 and 9.74. However, with 2 errors on the board tonight for Northwestern State.
That will change.
That will change.
Yep, that will change. So it'll be Braden Benton to lead things off. We'll see 7, 8, 9 for Lamar.
Benton had to be feeling really well. Braden got a base hit back in the first inning against his former teammate.
Hitting .250 on the season, I don't know. Again, on base is on base. However you get there, Braden Benton leads the team, 29 walks. Didn't take a walk that time, though. Lifted it out to center for out number 1.
We talked about the kind of low pitch count for Olivier now through 4 for the first 3. You look at Robinson, he's at 54.
Yeah, and you look at the innings worked. I mean, the first inning, he went through 8 batters. Then the next inning, he goes through 4, then 3. So he's really kind of, narrowing it down, finding his groove. That's a nice pitch. Going to be just foul. McAloose at third, tried to snag it, couldn't catch up with it.
Left fielder Simone goes and gets in that left corner.
So on his pitch chart, he throws a cutter?
Yeah, the pitch chart for Robinson, he does have a cutter. He goes 80 to 82 miles per hour.
Because that's what that last one kind of looked like one. That's fair.
Falls down.
Big skipper. Not going to get it in time. Good try by McAloose, and he double bounced it.
Yeah, McAloose backhands this, and he lost his footing. And that gave enough time for AJ to get up the line.
1, 2. Gets it there, but doesn't make it in time. So Taylor will be on with a base hit with 1 away and bring up Valentine in the 9 spot.
Flew out to left his first time up.
It's a good pitch there. One away, runner on first. Lamar with a 3-run lead. Got them all in the first. Yeah, keeping Taylor close.
He's 8 for 8 this year. He's perfect.
Seems, I mean, just again, by impression, that Lamar has not run as much this season when you look at the total.
Right.
But again, you'd have to stack it up in the Southland Conference and see exactly where they stand. That one fouled up. I can't imagine that stays in play, and it doesn't.
No. So Balin Valentine now down in the count, 1-2. Runner at first base, 1 out. Top of the batting order behind him on deck. Going to do his best to get on base and at least get that runner in a scoring position. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, as you see, Lamar up 3-0, all 3 of those runs in the first inning.
So Lamar, 42 of 50 stolen bases on the year. They're not the lowest. You got to look at Southeastern. They have only attempted 24 stolen bases all season. HCU right there. That one might get over the screen. It does. So it'll be 2-2 to Valentine. And yeah, not a hearing problem. People always go, why do they hold their gloves? Well, they're trying to kind of keep the sound where they can hear it, especially when there's music being played inside the stadium, so they can hear the electronic voice coming from the dugout on their communication system.
3rd strikeout for Robinson. 2nd out of the inning.
Flips the order. Tab Tracy in the 1 spot.
Scored the game's first run.
See, the movement on that one looks really good. I mean,
yeah,
he catches the outside.
Now with 2 down, wouldn't be too surprised to see Taylor try to get in a scoring position with a good contact hitter at the plate.
Tracy, a double to open Lamar's 3-run first inning.
That was a shot up the middle that.
Well, yeah, they actually scored it, I guess, as a single with an error.
Yeah, single error, but he did get on to second base.
Listen, that one way up. Wind blowing it sideways, but Simonelli makes the adjustment and the out to end the inning. So Lamar comes up empty in that one still, though, with a 3-0 lead. Well, it was a good day at that park. We're looking across the outfield fence and
working on the field.
Yeah, the LU softball complex. Well, it's because they got another game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Opened a 3-game series against Incarnate Word and really needed to take all 3 if they wanted to stay in it. Came out and won the first game 3-2. Hold on to take that one. Then have to rally in the second. We're down 3-2 and came back to win that one 4-3. They'll wrap up the series tomorrow at noon is the start time if you want to get out and catch some of the action.
Battle of the Redbirds.
Weather permitting, of course. I think the weather's supposed to be later in the day, as I understand it. Ethan Menard leads things off for NSU here in the top of the 5th. Mentioned Menard, a senior out of Opelousas. First season with the Demons.
Up in the eyes, challenged with a fastball, got it by him. 91 on that pitch from Olivier.
This time comes right back with a heater at 92, gets him looking. just keeps adding to the strikeout total.
It's 3 of the last 4.
I want to say 7, but I'd have to go back and add them up. But I believe that's right.
You are correct.
Oh, I don't hear that very often.
Why not?
Can you say that again?
No, I will not.
Especially at home.
Well, you got a house full there.
I do. I was just telling Errol, all the grandkids spend the night on Friday, so I got a house full. They've never quite figured out where Grandpa goes. He just disappears.
Do you go by Grandpa, Papa?
I am not confessing to any of those.
Oh, just because growing up in the Midwest, all I was Grandma and Grandpa. Come down to the South, and I hear everything.
No, mine's Papa. I've always been Papa. Wasn't my choice. I had this really cool name picked out. I wanted to be called Grandpa D. And, of course, the first one, old enough to speak, calls me by that name, and I never had a chance. That was it. 10 later, and they all called me by the same name. Another strikeout. That's 2 in a row.
That's with the changeup at 77 miles per hour.
Well, yeah. After coming with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, just a good mix from Olivier. You can tell he's feeling it tonight. Working quickly. And that was a curve. I mean, he dropped that thing. See the skip and the step kind of tells you a lot right there from body language. Michael McAloose, redshirt junior, looking to change things for his team. Put something on the board here. Only got 1 hit. That went straight up in the air and straight back. Yeah. Nobody hurt by the foul ball.
There's a souvenir.
I was going to say, somebody's taking home a souvenir. So ahead 0-2. This is when Olivier is dangerous, because he's got such good variety right now. You don't know what he's going to throw. Like, this is a little bit with the curveball, bounces away from Coomer.
That's not a really bad 0-2 pitch.
Oh no,
because you hope to get the hitter to chase it.
Yeah, and I was going to say it makes him have to work, and again keeps him guessing. And there you go. Gets him chasing on the pitch, and it's 3 strikeouts in the frame as Olivier will head in to take a rest with his team leading 3-0. Inside the Northwestern State dugout. Of course, all this games we played to this point, all about leading to the Southland Conference postseason tournament and the baseball championship. There you see, it's really not a tournament. It's 3 tournaments, so to speak. It's bracket play. You've got 2 that will be played, the 14th through the 17th, 2 4-team brackets.
At 2 separate locations.
Top 8 teams at the end of the regular season, with the top 2 teams hosting 4 teams in each location. And then the winner of those 2 brackets will play in the championship series. A little bit later on the game, we'll show you what it would look like if it were to end today. If this were the last day of the regular season, what it would look like. And I think it also kind of helps to visualize just what the tournament looks like. Good pitch by Robinson.
And it's kind of crazy because last year, UTRGV was the number 1 seed. They hosted. Southeastern Louisiana was the number 2 seed. They hosted. But number 7 and 8 came out and met over in Houston.
Well, I mean, that's always, that's always a possibility, whether it's basketball, baseball, or any other sport where you play a postseason tournament. There's no guarantee that the regular season winner is going to come out on top.
Well, the top 6 teams at the end of regular season last year none of them went to the NCAA. It was the number 7, I believe, because he had 7 and 8 with HCU and University of New Orleans.
Bo Durbin leading things off here in the bottom half of the 5th. His team with a 3-run lead. Durbin grounded out in the first, picked up the single in a second, so 1 for 2 on the evening. It's always, you look at the lineup and it's sometimes I admit that I see Durbin and Duran, you're like,
yeah,
got to make sure that it's that D-U-R, and then you've gone to the next one. But Durbin becomes a strikeout victim to Kevin Robinson, who's now got 4 strikeouts after a shaky start. You take back those errors in the first inning, it'd be a different ball game. Lane Sparks grounded out in the first, getting the start tonight in left field over Braden Evans, who has held down that spot for most of the season. That's deep.
Did you get enough of it?
I think that might be over the fence. Say goodbye. Lane Sparks, a solo shot to right. Got all of that one, and that's into a 20-mile-an-hour wind.
That's his second 4-bagger of the year.
And here comes the boom. Just a good pull shot.
Yeah, watch Leonard, the right fielder, just goes up. He looks up into the southeast Texas sky, and watch that ball clear the fence. And boy, Lane is fired up coming around that base pass.
Gives Lamar a 4-0 lead as Hector Rodriguez fouls that one back into the grandstands.
Mentioned his second home run, also his 16th RBI.
Trying to remember when he got the first home run. I'd have to look back. Hard hit ball up the middle, but it's going to be handled by White. Gets it over to Marsala, and there's 2 away. Number 34, we were just talking about Kevin Robinson really looking good, and then all it takes is one pitch, a good fastball, and just watch it sail over the fence. Like you said, it was just a good turn by Sparks. That one's lifted up high. Marsala calls for it, makes the catch, and the inning done, but not before Lamar comes up with 1 hit and 1 run off of a solo shot by Lane Sparks. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's going on in this game, that is speed. We are working our way through. We're already at the top of the 6th. But that's the way it goes when you have 1, 2, 3 innings. And there's a look at the game summary. And highlight of the night has got to be the pitching of Chris Olivier, already with 9 strikeouts on the night.
First hitter of the ball game, Leonard got aboard on a single, got eliminated as part of a double play, and that's it.
Yeah, only hit of the entire game was there. We're having our conversation about whether or not Chris Olivier would be given the opportunity to continue pitching. Early in the season, you don't talk about that. It's all about pitch count. It's all about, we're not going to go past this number. But here we are. We're deep into the season now, and I would think that Will Davis, if he continues to throw the way he's throwing now, and the pitch count remains as low as it is.
Yeah, the count's down low. You look at it, he's only got 64 pitches in 5 innings.
Yeah. Exactly. And, again, even if it's 100, you're still almost 40 pitches away from that mark. So we'll watch. We'll see course, a lot of it will rest on that right arm of Olivier if he can keep going through this lineup for Northwestern. Coming up, we'll see the bottom of the order. Neal, White, McNeil, White, and Ardoin. This is Noah McNeil.
Fly out to center.
Yeah, it's also hard to imagine we're in the 6th, and these guys are only seeing him for the second time. On the ground, it's going to get through. Big hole up the middle. So McNeil on with only the second hit given up by Olivier.
He had retired 14 in a row before that single.
Brings up Zach White, redshirt freshman. Didn't play last season, redshirted.
Good pitch. Good changeup comes in with the, looked like the curveball crosses at 75 miles per hour.
Another good pitch. Going to go foul. But Olivier will get ahead 0-2. Coomer says, you don't want that nasty ball. Let's get us a new one. Let's have us some fresh leather to kind of
let's go calm,
grip.
Relaxed Olivier looks as he goes back on the mound.
Well, you can
look around.
Yeah, it's obvious he feels like he's in command right now.
Takes a look over and sees his third baseman Hector Rodriguez shifting over to the right side of the bag.
Looks over to third base. There's nobody there. Oh, comebacker right up the middle. Could get the double play out of it. Yes, sir. What a nice throw. I mean, good toss, but watch the throw from second back to first if we get a chance to see that again.
This is, it's just kind of unique here because look, that is Hector Rodriguez, the third baseman, fielding it on the first base side of second, tossing it on over to AJ covering, and then back over to first base.
Yeah, good throw by Taylor. Come across the bag and really had to get it there quickly. So 2 down, and Sam Ardoin steps up in the 9 spot. Shortstop grounded out in the 3rd inning.
Second double play of the game for Lamar, one back in the first.
That one lifted up. Believe it's going to be in play. Durbin calls everybody off, makes the catch, and again a 3 up, 3 down. They continue to roll for Olivier and the Cardinals as they take a 4-run lead into the bottom half of the 6th. Look inside Lamar dugout as they enjoy a 4-run lead. Game 1 of a 3-game series against Northwestern State. And as we said, pivotal series. I think both of these teams, Dan Gresham, by the way, along with Harold Mann, I think both of these teams, Harold, are going to be happy with the fact that their starters have given them this much so far. I mean, you're talking about we're in the 6th. They've saved their bullpens, and they've still got 2 more games to go. And certainly we've seen it for Lamar. It has been a struggle, especially when you get to that 3rd game. If you go through 2 or 3 in the first game.
Yeah, if your Friday night guy can give you 6-7 innings of that, that's awesome. And you know, Olivier for Lamar right now, he's going to work into the 7th.
No, there's no doubt about that.
Because we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Robinson, shaky first inning, some defensive miscues behind him, gave up 3. Then they had the home run he gave up an inning ago.
Oh, bat slips out of the hands.
That bat is on top of the Northwestern State dugout. So they have to figure out how to get that bat for him.
Kevin Durant,
a Demon fan coming in.
That one slips out of his hands and again winds up on top of the dugout. Look at this.
Yeah.
Fan says, I got it.
Good job by the Demons fan. Scotty Hatton going over and getting it.
Look at the longtime assistant here at Lamar, 26 years. Yeah, it just comes completely out of his hands. That's scary. Scary at first. I mean, you know.
Will he use both bats?
I bet he tars up that one, though.
Yeah, he's going to put that sticky substance on it.
Grip it. Now rip it, right?
Grip and rip.
Duran, a single in the first, strikeout in the third. Lost bat in the bottom of the sixth. Good recovery by the Northwestern fan. We're back to play. And a base hit. That tar did the trick. I'm not going to say that's exactly the sticky stuff.
George Brett would be proud.
When you'd see like all those guys, it wasn't just the bat, it'd be on their helmet.
Craig Biggio.
Every time Biggio, how many years of tar buildup did he have on that helmet?
Oh, his entire career.
Because they constantly were reaching up and touching the top. Duran on with a single to lead things off. That'll bring up Benton, who is 1 for 2. Single in the first, fly out in the fourth. Takes a rip at the first pitch.
Yeah, it was a good heavy swing. A lot of high black on there. That's more like a face. Usually you have the one line underneath the eyes.
Got to get that pretty close. Doesn't get the call, though. It goes to 1-1. Again, a pretty constant velo out of Robinson. It comes with that cutter.
Out in front of the pitch, fouls it left side.
One-two count, runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the sixth.
Duran with the leadoff single here in the sixth. 4 out of 6 in his steals.
Takes a decent lead off first. That one fly ball out to left. Simonelli's got it. There's one away. Takes us to the 8th spot in the lineup, A.J. Taylor.
Has a base hit, has one of the hits on the board for the Cardinals. Singled back in the 4th inning. Grounded out into a force out in the end of first. 1-4-2.
A.J. Taylor, a JUCO All-American back in 2023. Pulls that one. It's fair.
Play.
Good play by McAloose at the hot corner, and he just laid down the line there.
Did the good thing. Yeah, fires to first. He knew he wasn't going to get Duran going to second.
Here it is. Watch the stretch to his left and then comes up throwing. Brings up Valentine. 0 for 2. Strikeout victim back in the 4th. One of 4 on the evening for Kevin Robinson.
Talked to Balin first game of the year, talking about how it's like to be with a bunch of new teams. How do you adjust with new teammates? And he mentioned, of course, there's so many of us. And I said, what about when Northwestern State comes to town later in the year? And he's like, I'm looking forward to that. So here it is.
Swing and a miss. Robinson gets ahead 0-2.
Balin just has had some clutch hits this year, but his defense has just been remarkable.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest surprise probably, and even for him, I'm sure, that's nice shot out to left, but the wind's going to hold it up. I mean, Valentine, 292 and 54 starts last year for Northwestern. So I'm sure he's as surprised as anybody that, he's not hitting quite as well. But ends the inning. And we will head into the top of the 7th. No change in the score. It's 4-0 Lamar. You're watching Southland Conference Baseball on ESPN. Back inside Vincent Beck. Let's check on some big series going on around the rest of the Southland Conference this weekend. One's already in the books. You can see Nichols beat SFA 8-4 in game 1. It's top of the ninth. My bad. Thought it said final there. Then game 1 between Southeastern and UTRGV is a close one, 6-5. While New Orleans getting thumped by HCU in the bottom of the 6th. And Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the Islanders with a lead as that game progresses.
Top of the batting order coming up here for Northwestern State. Olivier's faced the minimum, giving up 2 hits.
Looping curveball just misses. Was it just me, or do I remember a time when, and maybe it was just because it was Southern, we knew it wasn't the other North. We just called them Northwestern. It was just, hey, there's Northwestern, or Northwestern's coming to town.
Yeah.
But, now you pretty much have to say Northwestern State. I know it's a request from the university that you say that. But, I do remember a time when it seems like you didn't have to because nobody else would have ever thought
Northwestern
you would be playing Northwestern University,
Correct.
But again, they both have same colors essentially.
They do. The purple's a primary.
Oh, big swing and a miss there by Brooks Leonard. 1 for 2 on the night. One of the 9 strikeout victims of Chris Olivier to this point. Doing a game last week with Lamar softball. They were playing Northwestern State, and had to ask the person I was working with, have you ever been to Natchitoches? So he said, oh, yeah, I've been through Natchitoches. I said, well, you know the story, right, about Natchitoches and Nacogdoches? He said, no, I didn't know there was a story.
There is.
I said, oh. I said, you need to ask somebody for a history lesson. They'll be glad to, just any old timer in either one of the cities will be glad to tell you.
Well, the story I understand, a couple of brothers. One ended up in Natchitoches and one ended up in Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
I think my history lesson is correct.
Well, the way I always heard it, it was 2 Native Americans.
Yes.
That split up and that's why it's spelled so strangely. Yeah. To most people, they N-A-T-I what? No.
I've been to both cities.
How do you get Natchitoches? Or Nacogdoches out of the other spelling?
How do you get Mahé out of Mexico? I mean,
well, that's much simpler spelled. Ground ball. 2 away here in the 7th. So trade those strikeouts for a couple of ground outs, and you're still only at 78 pitches here in the 7th inning for Chris Olivier.
So it's grounded into an ending double play back in the 1st. We do have action in the Northwestern State bullpen. Nobody for the Cardinals.
I think I see a couple of arms waving around, but I mean strictly just, they're loosening their arms up, not really throwing.
Nobody on the hill.
Not sure they're going to need to be at this point. That was a pretty good pitch. And there goes Hector Rodriguez. Third baseman will now be between second and short. And third base line is wide open. That's not going to get through.
Look how
big
deep he's
play
playing.
by Duran. He's almost in right field when he makes the throw, but Marsala is out, and another 1-2-3 inning as we head for the stretch. So we're in the middle of the 7th inning stretch, and we got to show you something. We're doing softball the other day, and I made a reference. I said, look, it's so easy, even a kid can do replays. Well, it wasn't quite that easy. That is Brady Nelson, and that is Kyle Nelson,
Daddy
who works
Kyle.
for Lamar, and he was running the video replay. Well, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And
he had daddy
baby
duty.
Brady came to work. He had daddy duty.
He had daddy duty and replay duty.
Well, but apparently they were just telling me from the trailer that it went viral.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and
very
then it
good.
was even on SportsCenter.
How about that?
How about that? Top 10 play made by baby Brady. He made the right call, too. I'll just let you know. He didn't really.
Because Kyle wanted to.
He did not overturn. He did not overturn. He didn't have conclusive evidence. So,
top of the order for Lamar as we flip to the bottom of the 7th inning, stretched out. Fans back in their seats.
Tab Tracy squares to bunt. It's called on the strike. You see him talking. Turn around and talking to John Howell, the home plate umpire. Oh, good rip out into left field. That'll drop. Could it get to the fence? No, cut off by Simonelli, but still Tracy able to stretch it out into a double.
Yeah, stand-up double, his second hit of the game. Singled in the bottom of the first inning, got the second on a center fielder's error. But no doubt about that one, his 5th double of the year.
Good play by Simonelli to get it back in, hold it to 2. That'll bring up Bo Durbin, the first baseman. Durbin 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 2nd. Struck out his last time up in the 5th. Going to try to move the runner. Puts the bunt down. Robinson will take care of it.
Did he come off the bag? He did not. Will Davis.
I guarantee you Will Davis is going to ask for a video review. He was out of the dugout before the call was even made.
Let's see if we can look at if Marcelo keeps his foot on the bag at first base. The throw pulled him off.
All right, here's the intended play, right? Move the runner.
I think his foot's up.
He tags it, though. All he's got to do is touch it.
Yeah, you don't have to keep it on.
You don't have to stay on it.
You don't have to stay on it. There's not a tie. You've got to just touch it and look like he did.
Can we look at it one more time, guys?
Yeah, this angle
from another side. Yeah, that's a much better angle. But there's the touch. That's all he's got to do. I don't understand why there would be. I mean, there's no doubt his foot is off the bag, as far as the first baseman's foot.
Jack Hardgrove, first base coach, right on top of it. He immediately starts signaling safe. Is there enough to overturn it?
Well, Jeremy Hayes, the umpire, is there too. All right, one more time from the other side. Robinson. See, did he miss it?
I think he did. Now, when I look at it from that angle, I don't think he
did. His foot come up over the top of it?
On that angle there, it looked like the foot was up.
I mean, he definitely, if you've got one more angle, that'd be great. I thought it was kind of a different look the first time we saw it. But
yeah, that to me, it looks like it should be overturned, and we're going to find out in a hurry.
Yeah, because it didn't take them long to make the decision. Usually, to me, that means it was pretty evident, whichever way they're going, right? Well, here it comes, the call on the play at first base.
Nope, he's out.
The runner was out. So again, I think they saw what we initially saw, where he reached out with his foot, tagged it, and then it came off, and it doesn't matter after that point.
In the books for Bo Durbin, that's going to be a sac bunt. Did his job. He got that runner over to third base with less than 2 outs, and we are going to have a pitching change.
So Tab Tracy will be standing on third with one out here in the bottom of the seventh after the pitching change. And that will do it for Kevin Robinson. Winds up going 6 complete, gives up 9 hits, 4 runs, picks up 4 strikeouts, gave up 1 home run. Should mention that as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back and see who his replacement is. So pitching change for NSU. It's going to be Caden Fivish, 6 foot, 185 redshirt senior out of Rockwall, Texas. Previous school, Northern Oklahoma College, Tonopah.
Making his 7th appearance, 4.61 ERA. There you see some of the numbers right there. 3-0 record. He's tossed 13 2/3, 12 hits, 17 strikeouts, 9 walks. Opponents hitting .231 off him.
Northern Oklahoma College, Tonopah. Who did we had like 2 players earlier this season.
Yeah, we've had a couple players from Lamar over the last couple of years.
It's a JUCO. It's a junior college.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder how they get all that on a hat. Northern Oklahoma College, Tonopah. NOCT.
Lane Sparks, who took a free trip around the bases his last time up after hitting one over the wall.
Parked one in right field.
Infield is in.
Takes a look at the first pitch. 79 miles an hour. See what we can expect from Caden Fivish. That's 89. Just seems like all of these D1 pitchers can approach 90, if not better, these days.
That's what he usually throws, about 89. He does have a cutter. He'll pop 82 to 84. Curveball. 3 primary pitch for him is a fastball, cutter, and curve.
Yeah. We've seen the fastball. I think we probably have seen the curve.
Taking all the way. Wow. Didn't miss by much, but
no, 4-ball walk though. That puts Sparks on with 1 out. So now runners on the corners with 1 away. Brings up Hector Rodriguez. 1 for 3. Single, strikeout, and a ground out. So now, quick conversation after very short. I think we're already seeing another pitching change. Is that what's happening?
This may be a visit because nobody was really throwing. You had someone up stretching. I think this is just a visit to the mound.
Well, he kind of. The reason I said that is because the pitching coach kind of made a gesture with his hand, and I don't know.
Oh, they asked him. See catcher McNeil signaling into the dugout.
Again, maybe it's just
nobody's
settle
throwing
somebody down. They're just, they got nobody even warming up. You see McNeil, the catcher, talking with the home plate umpire. Dana Led, the assistant coach who takes care of the pitching duties. Hit back for the dugout. They will leave Caden Fivish in there. Rodriguez fouls that one away. We mentioned earlier in the game he is a switch hitter.
Still on that left side with another righty.
You know, PitchCom, we talk about it all the time, and yeah, he knew it. Hector knew it before the call was made.
He nodded his head.
It was going to be a strike. He kind of stomped his feet a little bit. But, you know, pitch count is not just for pitchers and catchers. Also batters and base runners have that pitch, calm in their helmets the whole time. So if you got a steal on, if you know, swinging away, you're not swinging away, everybody knows what's going on. Kind of eliminated the need for hand signals from base coaches. Count goes to 1-2 on Rodriguez.
I asked Coach Will Davis about that. I told him, I miss that. He goes, we don't have time to do it anymore.
Well, sent out to the beer garden and beyond.
2 strikes on Hector Rodriguez. That pitch might have been up a little bit, but I'm saying might have. So if it's kind of close with 2 strikes, you know, Hector, he's going to go after it. That did not miss by much. That's a good eye there by Hector Rodriguez. You can see
the fact that he held off after the previous call for the strike in almost the exact same location. So now 2-2.
5-ash, a little bit walk behind the mounter to that one.
Steps off, makes the throw to first.
This inning started with a double by Tap Tracy. Sacked over to third by Bo Durbin, and then a walk to Lane Sparks, who's at first base.
Curveball taken out to right. It'll be catchable, but should be deep enough to score Tracy, and it will. And that'll make it a 5-0 game. So Rodriguez, mission accomplished.
Yeah, drives in a run.
Picks up the RBI. There's the look at it. Lifts it out to right. Leonard makes the catch.
17th RBI of the year for Hector Rodriguez. And the Cardinals have extended their lead to 5-0.
Not done yet. 2 out. Runner on first, and Theo Coomer, the catcher, 1 for 3, trying to
get back, tell you.
Catch Rodriguez. I mean, Sparks off the bag.
You look at that again. He wandered off the bag a little bit too far, and fortunate to get back in.
He's way off.
Yeah. Good job by him to get back in diving.
See, Thomas Marsala thought it was pretty close, the first baseman. Coomer whipping around on that one. The count goes to 1-1.
Dan mentioned he singled and scored in the first inning. Pop out and a fly out. So he made contact all 3 times up.
Dallas native will have to wait. Yeah, you know, we're talking about there's not enough time for the signs and signals anymore from base coaches. It's because a 20-second pitch clock starts every time you step on the rubber. Runner going. Oh, the overthrown ball. So Sparks slides into third head first.
Give him a stolen base, and then another error on the Demons to get him to third base.
McNeil just launched it, went over the head of White at second.
Sparks now 7 out of 8 in his steals this season. And now he's 90 feet away, but there's 2 outs.
Theo Coomer will step back in at 1-1. Oh, 1-2. Oh, 2-1. That's what it is.
Okay, they get the board right now.
You see McNeil calling for another pitch. Curveball misses outside.
3-1. This is one, you know, we like talking about. 3-1, the hitter's pitch. Coomer could just dig in here, look for a particular pitch in a certain area of the zone. If not, he has another opportunity. Hawks
will take his place at first base on the walk. That'll take us down to Kevin Durant. Had that base hit.
Got a couple
back
of them
in
tonight.
The 6th. Had another in the 1st.
Drove in one of those 3 runs. Also had his bat end up on the third base dugout. Chicago area kid.
No, Kevin is actually from Cleburne.
I'm sorry.
Starts with a C, though.
Yeah. Former SFA Lumberjack. There we go.
Got to realize every year it's to the point now you got to learn a whole new roster.
Yeah, you got to double check where they're from, where they played before. That's just the era we're in right now.
I mentioned 32 newcomers, 20 transfers, 7 JUCO players, and 4 high school freshmen. This one lifted straight up, should be in play. Called for by White at second. He has to make an adjustment.
Yeah, dancing around
with the wind, but makes the catch, but not before Lamar managed to plate another and take a 5-0 lead into the top of the 8th. You're watching Southland Conference Baseball on ESPN. Well, as we mentioned, you were counting it down to the Southland Conference tournament, which is played at the end of the regular season. So we thought we would just kind of project a little bit here. This would be
what if
the number 1 seed bracket if it were to end tonight. All right, before the game started, this is what it would look like. Northwestern would be 1, and you see 1 plays 8, and you go backwards from there. So 2 plays 7, so on and so forth. And then here would be the number 2 seed, which would at this point be Southeastern.
So that would mean Nacogdoches and Hammond.
That's it. Did you say Nacogdoches or Natchitoches?
I said Natchitoches.
Okay.
I think I did. If not, Natchitoches.
No, I'm just, they sound very similar. Yeah. But it would be Natchitoches, not Nacogdoches. Although a lot of folks in Nacogdoches would love to have a bracket.
Natchitoches, home of the meat pie.
That's right. And people brag. They love the meat pies. You've never been to Natchitoches if you haven't had a meat pie.
Yeah, I've had meat pies.
Also the Christmas lights down on the river. Pretty spectacular.
I'm blanking out on what movie was filmed there. Magnolia Steels. Oh,
nice catch.
Climbing the ladder.
Duran just timed it. Knew it was coming at him. Oh, yeah. Good timing. There's that ball. Nice play to start the inning for Lamar, not so much for NSU.
Curve stays up.
Brings up JT Simonelli. Simonelli, strikeout victim twice to Olivier tonight.
Talk about this over the next inning or so, but 4 new players going into the Lamar Hall of Fame tomorrow.
The Baseball Hall of Fame.
Baseball Hall of Fame, yes.
Which will be located in the new building, correct? Won't they have the Hall of Fame?
They'll have the plaques and stuff in there, but looking forward to that. Tim Erickson, Jesse Floyd, Blake Justice, and Joe McCann going in. Ceremonies tomorrow.
Swing and a miss.
A couple other notes.
I got the feeling you're going to be involved somehow.
I'll be emceeing that. Okay. So looking forward to that.
So is that going to be at the same time as the game?
Midway through the game, yes. Unfortunately, they couldn't change the time of it.
Get out to center. This time it's Tab Tracy who makes the snag, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, initially, it was scheduled for 3, and that's what time they've got it all locked in. And then, of course, with the game being changed from 5 to 3.
5 to 1.
5 to 1. They still might try to get the guys out here for that 1 o'clock game to throw out the ceremony first pitch.
I got you. Then hustle them over.
Yeah,
then
get them back across the street.
That's just so strange that you would have a Hall of Fame event going on while a game is going on. It seems like a lot of the same people would want to be at both locations.
Yeah. But the time change is what threw a wrench into that.
So. And you have all the family members, everybody else coming in for the Hall of Fame presentation.
Right. And then the hitters of the year from last year will be, and pitchers.
Oh, up tight, but he backs away from it.
Al Vincent Award, Damien Ruiz. The Harold Kincaid pitchers are Peyton Havard and Riley Hunsaker.
Huh? Two very familiar names. Oh, three familiar names to all of us, of course.
Yeah, from last year.
Ruiz now playing for Arkansas in their starting lineup.
And what makes me feel old is 3 of the 4 going into the hall I've covered out here in broadcasts. So
no comment. McAloose looking at a 1-2 pitch. That one misses just up.
It was a ball. Nice movement on it.
Olivier, 7 2/3, 9 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits.
92 pitches.
Rodriguez takes his time, makes the throw, and another 1-2-3 inning.
Will he come out in the 9th?
I think he definitely comes out in the 9th. How can he not come out in the 9th and finish his game? A complete game. How long has that been since you've seen one of those? Stick around and find out. Well, who says you can't go home again?
Yeah.
Look into that crowd. Kendall Murray, the Assistant Director of Facilities and Events Management, now at Northwestern. There he is, giving up that LU. What are you doing, Kendall? He's laughing now. Former Lamar employee. Spent lots of time out at this ballpark while he was here at Lamar. And we
did a really good job.
Had a chance to say hello. Hope he's enjoying his new job.
Welcome back to Lamar.
Over in Natchitoches. You think he's had one of those meat pies yet?
Oh, he's probably had several of the meat pies, you know.
I don't know I do know for a fact because I hear they like crawfish in Natchitoches.
Do you?
That's what I heard.
I've been in Texas since 1984. I've been in southeast Texas here in the Golden Triangle since 1990. Still can't do crawfish.
Well, let me tell you, I grew up in northeast Texas, so that we didn't know what crawfish were. But in high school, one of my recruiting trips was to Northwestern State. And the first event they took me to was a crawfish boil. I was like, what?
These things are looking. Yeah.
These were in the creek when I was growing up. You didn't eat them. Yeah, it's a little bit of a change. But, they down on the bayous. So start things off here in the bottom half of the 8th for Lamar. Braden Benton
has one of the Cardinals hits.
Back up. Yeah, he does. 1 for 3, picked up an RBI.
9 hits on the board now. Northwestern State came in as a team hitting .274.
Right. One down on the ground ball. That'll take us to A.J. Taylor in the 8th spot. Taylor 1 for 3 as well.
Also averaging 6.2 runs a game. The Demons.
Yeah, very lopsided when it comes to home runs. Demons have 35 on the season. Lamar only 18. But they got a big one tonight out of Lane Sparks.
They did.
Little protection run coming back in the 5th.
Lamar's 4th run of the game. Added one since then.
That one fouled away by Taylor. Caden Five-Ash working a full inning now. Still hasn't given up a hit. He's given up a couple of walks.
Home plate umpire John Howe asking for 3 new baseballs. tells.
They go through them. You know, it's always kind of striking to me. You walk into like the coach's office, and there'll be a 5-foot stack of baseball cartons. I mean, just
cartons of
full,
baseball.
because they go through 4 dozen balls every time they play a game.
A minimum.
I sit here and go, okay, so let's do the math. What do you think that adds up to? That's a big chunk of the budget.
Yeah,
for baseballs every season.
That's a lot of baseballs.
Of course, a lot of people will go home with them as souvenirs. Ouch! That looked like that came off his hip for McNeil. I don't know. Got in front of it, but it bounced away.
When Hal asked for that baseball, you get him serious. You hear him yell, "Hey, Jarrett, I need 3 more." Yeah. That's Jarrett Williams, tomorrow's starting pitcher for Lamar.
Right. Yeah, you got to stay busy.
Yep.
In between starts, that's off the handle. I think that's going to have that strange spin on it.
Yeah.
And now the overthrow.
Goes into the dugout.
Yeah, he'll get a base on the throw into the dugout. I don't think A.J. Taylor saw any of that because he had his head down running for first.
He didn't know the ball was overthrown, but look at this up the middle. This is one you just can't throw.
Well, because when it hit the ground, it went sideways, and you'd expect it to bounce to you. It actually had so much spin off the end of the bat, like the pool cue. So that'll take us to the bottom of the order, and Valentine 0 for 3.
Should love to cash in against his former teammate right here.
Ooh, that one kind of for a second there looked like it's going to be a lazy single into right. There's 3 more baseballs coming in.
Good pitch.
Look at A.J. Taylor taking his lead on second. Again, there's only one away here in the bottom of the 8th. Taylor can run. He's got the speed. I don't know how much Lamar feels like they need to add that second, how much of a chance or a risk to get that additional run. Can they just wait for Valentine to advance the runner? That one's high out to left. Taylor can tag up because it's on the same side. There's no way he can go.
Right.
If it had been to the opposite field, he might have had a chance, but.
Yeah, that's the right field. He's standing on third base right now, but you can't take that risk when it's right at left field.
So now that'll be 2 down. Take us to the top of the order. Tab Tracy, who's had himself a night.
Yes.
Single he turned into a double and then a true double. So 2 for 3.
Crossed home plate twice.
No wonder we picked him as featured player of the game. Curveball gets away from Fivish.
49 hits on the year now for Tab Tracy.
Just throwing a quick reminder, tomorrow again, game time change to 1 o'clock. Originally set for 5, but due to potentially bad weather rolling in later in the day, they've elected to move the start up until 1 o'clock. So we'll have it for you here on ESPN. And of course, you can also come on out to the ballpark and enjoy it as well.
That's a good pitch, picking on the outside corner, and he gets it.
Right at 81 miles an hour.
So Tab got a look at a strike, counted 2-1.
Pops that one high. Going to make the tag or the throw? They're going to make the throw and not get it. I thought he would reach up and tag.
How about a 3-hit night for Tab Tracy? He could have reached over and tagged Taylor. who is going on contact. Look, he's running right to him.
I mean, he's right there. All he got to do is touch him, but instead he decides to make the throw, Macaloose, and he can't get it there in time.
We've talked about this all year long, and I'll continue to talk about it, is when Tab Tracy hits that baseball, he is busting it up that line.
Yeah, that's why I said, well, Taylor same way. I mean, their heads down, they're churning.
Yeah. Get a visit to the mound.
I think.
Not made the move yet.
No, and it is the pitching coach who is coming out, and a lot of times it's actually the head coach who makes the change. We mentioned that's Chris Bertrand, the head coach.
Discussion going on there.
Still got the ball in his glove. Generally speaking, it's out by now, and he's handing it off to the coach. So I got to think he may be hanging in to the end of the inning.
Let's just watch the arm of coach, and if he points down towards the bullpen.
Too late now. Come on. Well, unless they're just stalling for time.
Absolutely. They could be stalling for time. We're going to wait for home plate umpire John Howe to go out there and break up the conversation. You got to keep him in there.
5F says, no, I'm okay. I can do this. I got it. So Durbin will step in.
RBI opportunity. Runners at the corners. 2 down.
1 for 3 on the evening. Picked up a single back in the second. There goes Tab Tracy. Add another steal to his total.
15 out of 16.
Leads the team with stolen bases. Ooh, caught the outside corner. We'll see Jarrett Williams tomorrow. 2.94 ERA and 8 starts as a freshman, 9 appearances. Second on the team with 31 strikeouts. Legacy player. Dad played back in the 90s here with Lamar. It's been an impressive freshman season for Jarrett Williams.
It really has.
On the ground, coming right back to White. All he needs to do is get it over to first. He does, ends the inning. And the threat by Lamar in the bottom of the 8th. So Northwestern State down to 3 outs to make up 5 runs. Can they get it done? We'll find out right after this. Chris Olivier back out for the 9th for Lamar. Early in the season, we were talking about that 14 strikeout performance against Oakland, and that was not 7 innings. He went deep, but it became pretty obvious that Will Davis, protecting, the prospect of Olivier going into the season, said, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm not going to risk going that deep. So he's going to let him pitch into the 9th. We're scrambling here trying to figure out last complete game by a Lamar pitcher. We'll keep looking and see if we can't find that. In the meantime, Olivier will face the bottom of the order for Northwestern State. McNeil, White, and Ardoin. Gonna have to wait for Coomer to make some adjustments behind the plate. And we're ready to roll. Of course, it's also, that's where are we at? 94 pitches.
Yeah, he's
pitched 100 plus this season so far, I know. Again, working into the ninth here. You see him really trying to make sure he comes over the top. 8 innings, giving up 2 hits. Picked up 9 strikeouts. Lamar with the shift on. Good pitch. Runs the count to 2-2. McNeil, the catcher, 1 for 2 on the evening. One of those 2 hits. Good velocity on that one, right at 90.
Yeah, we're in the 9th inning. He's still throwing 90.
Count full. Comes the payoff. Check swing, a foul.
Yep, foul tipped.
You're going to call it that way. McNeil, a Canadian out of Ottawa, Ontario. He played in the Canadian League in the summer as well. He'll take his walk. He was with the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian League. Off to first base on the walk. First walk of the game for Olivier.
Came in his 52 and a third innings, only 18 walks. He finds the strike zone.
Well, unless I'm wrong and I'm miscounted, did he not go? This would be the first inning, unless they turn a double play, that he will have gone more than 3 batters.
He's given up 2 base runners on hits, but they've been eliminated by double plays. But yeah, going into the 9th, he had faced a minimum.
Zach White, second baseman, pinch hit by Bryce Johnson. Johnson falls behind 0-2 quickly. His first time to see Olivier. NSU trying to keep hope alive here in the top of the 9th. Nobody out, 1 on. Trailing by 5.
Oh, that's a good pitch. That is a good pitch.
Ring him up. That is number 10 for Olivier coming here in the 9th. What a performance we have seen out of Olivier, the senior out of Mandeville, Louisiana. Traveled around before he came to Lamar. Junior college stop at Delgado Community College. Pitched in New Orleans with UNO. That one's going to be foul. Came to Lamar, and this is his 2nd season here in the red and white of the Cardinals. Last year went 6-3 in 14 starts.
Got a baseball getting away.
What do you have? 62 strikeouts, I think, last season.
Yeah. Everybody came on the first base side. I don't know, maybe a youngster threw it on the field.
I think that they may have been playing pitch up in the stands.
Yeah.
Sam Ardoin in the 9 spot. Ooh, that was close. Not quite in the zone. Ardoin 0 for on the evening. Olivier just rears back and throws it. Fans trying to give him a little bit of support. Love to see a complete game.
Coomer tried to frame that pitch.
He really pulled it in, didn't he?
He wanted that one.
It was outside, and he was trying as quick as he can to get that mitt back to the middle. 2-2 count to Ardoin. Oh, nice pitch.
Foul tipped into the glove.
And that will set down the 2nd in a row Olivier, one away from a complete game.
A complete game shutout.
I wasn't going to go there yet, but I think that's fair at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Not the perfect game,
Yeah,
so
people are looking up there. They see the 0.
Can't jinx it.
Yeah.
108 pitches to this point. Now it goes back to the top of the order, and Brooks Leonard. Leonard got on with a single back in the first, one of those 2 hits. On the ground, reachable by Taylor. Big throw, scoop it first, and it's in the books. Chris Olivier, complete game shutout for Lamar. One more than the minimum.
That's right, one over the minimum. Now, the last time a Lamar pitcher threw a complete game shutout, go back to 2021, Trevin Michael against the University of New Orleans. So
How
5 years.
5 years between complete games. I mean,
not complete game shutout, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Give it up for Chris Olivier. Again, goes 9, picks up 11 strikeouts, gives up 2 hits, and will pick up the win, which will be his 5th win of the season. Am I right on that one?
You are correct. He's now 5-2 on the year. And again, double-digit strikeouts. He's won the Southland Conference Pitcher of the Year award 3 times this year. Look for number 4
of the week. I agree. He's probably going to get it again. So this one goes into the books. Lamar wins game 1 of the 3-game series. They'll go at it again tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you here on ESPN. It was a good one. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. For Harold Mann, I'm Dan Gresham saying so long from Beaumont, Texas. Final score: Lamar 5, Northwestern State 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.